Hello, I'm Sam Kavathas with the Illinois State Bar Association, and this is Illinois Law. Our topic today is what happens in a personal injury jury trial. My guest is Ron Kalish. Ron is a partner in the law firm of Steinberg, Goodman, and Kalish. He has been practicing for over 20 years in the personal injury field and also handles medical negligence cases. Ron is also a member of the Illinois State Bar Association Tort Committee. Ron, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sam.
Let's tell the listeners a preview of what happens in an actual jury trial. The case doesn't settle, and now you've got to go to trial. What's the first phase of the jury trial?
First phase, if the case hasn't settled, is going to be picking a jury. And a lot of people don't understand that those people that get picked for a jury, unless you've been on a jury yourself, know nothing about this case. And
how about the judge? How do you get your courtroom? I mean, some places I know they have assigned judges, others you have an assignment call. How is the judge determined, the courtroom?
Yeah, it's similar to the jurors not knowing anything about the case. Here in Cook County, cases are assigned randomly, and the judge does not know very much, if anything, about your case. Other counties have judges that have been associated with your case from the day it was filed until trial.
So now the first phase, if you get there, you go to the courtroom, does the client come with you? I mean, what happens with as far as that's concerned?
Yes, you're going to be with your lawyer every day during the trial, and you'll be sitting next to him or her at the table. And the first step, as I said, is picking that jury. And that's an opportunity to try and pick people who you think will be fair and impartial.
Where does the jury come from?
Jury comes from anybody in the county, and they are 18 years of age and older, and eligible to sit on a jury trial.
And how long does the jury selection process take usually?
Every case is different, but usually between a half of a day and a day, I think, is a good estimate.
And once the jury is picked, what happens next?
Well, the next is each lawyer gets to give what's called an opening statement, which is what they think the evidence will be, and it's an opportunity to sort of lay out an outline or a roadmap for the jurors so that they have an understanding of what they're going to be hearing about.
Okay. And once those opening statements take place, what's the next phase of the trial?
The next phase is the plaintiff, the person who brought the lawsuit, goes first.
And why is that?
Well, that's because the plaintiff has the burden of proof. They have the responsibility to prove certain things in order to win. So they go first, and that's done through witness testimony. What the lawyers say really isn't evidence, it's really what the witnesses say on the witness stand. And so the plaintiff calls their witnesses.
And what kind of witnesses do they put on?
In an injury case, you'll see obviously the plaintiff themselves, sometimes the defendant, the person that you think caused the accident. You'll also have witnesses who may have observed the crash, eyewitnesses, and most likely you'll have doctors testifying about the injuries that the person sustained.
And once all that evidence is in, what's the next phase?
Well, the next phase is after the plaintiff has done their side of the case, the defendant, of course, has their chance to get up there and have their own witnesses and their own experts.
And once that's completed, what's next going on?
The next phase is closing arguments. That's a chance for the lawyers one more time to get up and talk to the jury about what they think the evidence did show. And that's called argument, and it's a chance to convince the 12 jurors or 6 jurors that your position is correct.
And at that time, do they ask the jury for amounts of money to recovery in
Well,
personal injury cases?
In personal injury cases, there's often numbers discussed, and when you're finished, you sit down, the jurors go back in private, and they're sequestered. You hear that word sequestered. They're kept together in a room, and they deliberate. They start talking about the case.
What do the judge give them any instructions or anything on what they're supposed to follow?
Right, so the judge gives the jurors the law, tells the jurors what the law is, and it's usually given to them in writing, and it'll be passed out to them when they go back into the room. And then the job of the jurors is to decide what the facts of the case were and apply those facts to the law that the judge tells them to.
And when they reach their verdict, what happens then?
There's a bell on the door in the jury room. They ring the bell, and it could take hours, it could take days. Every case is different, and when they have a decision, it has to be unanimous. All 6 or all 12 of them have to agree to a single verdict, and everybody's brought back in the courtroom. The juror foreperson stands up and hands the paper over to the judge, and the judge reads the verdict or the decision of the jurors.
Ron, thanks very much. Thank you for watching Illinois Law. I'm Sam Kavathas.